In this discourse, I'll be introducing myself to the world. I aim at getting those who hear me speak to be aware of what I am and what I stand for, my mission and dedication, and the reasons for my mission. Also, do I intend to clarify ahead of time the core principles of the platform which I am to build. I am now part of this world, yet not of this world, just as many of us are not of this world. Since I find myself in this world, I must do my duty before I move along, for I do not fear my universal assignments. I am now in a world where deceit, lies, injustice, and ungodliness prevail. I'm now in a world which wants to tarnish my universal journey with mediocrity. I am in a world which wants to tell me that I am inferior, in a world that is systematically structured not to favor me nor those that look like me. Looking at the scene from a foreign background, I happen to know better, and am not going to fail my assignment. I am God Adu. I am the voice of reason, uprightness, and fairness. I am the bearer of the era of truth and consciousness. This that I'll be doing as my mission. Here I am a flesh-like man with dark complexion. I am of the humankind, from whom are the gods. And my mission here is to usher a new era of life here on planet Earth. That is through my ancestry and the legacy that I'm assigned to leave behind, as well as the platform which we shall create. I shall be the voice of peoples, my people and others. I shall be the voice of reason. I shall be the voice of Earth. It is agreed from above that Earth is in need of a mediator, a voice for truth, a renewer. Many now advocate their positions, but are too taken by their personal and sometimes profitable ambitions. Being here, I am claiming my position as the leader of peoples. I am now the leader of my people. I am a general where I am from, and so shall it be here. When I speak, you must listen, for speech and reason are the only two powers granted me in this degree. Listen to that which I speak, and you shall be liberated. You shall know who you are. You shall overcome your obstacles and your enemies. I am a fierce general, yet I am not above you listening, nor any of my people. I am the servant of my people. There are many reasons which call for my mission here. However, it is primarily concerned with the future of humanity here on planet Earth. My mission universally is concerned with the welfare of the human throughout space, irrespective of their position in the universe. We foresee catastrophe here on planet Earth in a very short period. My task is to hinder this from happening until the time comes. I cannot stop the catastrophe. I am charged with impeding it, and things must change. Nevertheless, on a shorter schedule, my task is to deliver the beings who look like me from the ways and manners of those that reign over them, to teach them how to be autonomous, how to create, how to produce, how to be self-sufficient and dependent, and live free and happy here until the time comes, and never again to be looked at as inferior, for they are gods from origin. I am God, yet having been demoted to this degree, I have no might but those of commending speech and reason. I am therefore alike those that are here. I sound like those that are here. I behave like those that are here. I am as emotional as those that are here. I am terminable here. Thus, I must protect myself to carry through my mission before I transition. My first revelation to the human here is that this protectorate of the universe, called the solar system, Earth in particular, is one of many of such places that the human goes through. These protectorates exist to acquire knowledge and experience. One only leaves one of these protectorates by the practice of uprightness and ensuring the well-being of others. Therefore, my mission here is the renewal of consciousness and uprightness on earth unto whoever it pertains. We are the God we seek. And God means uprightness. Thus, anything or anyone or any group that is not upright while I am here, I shall vilify and redeem with truth and reason. That said, I shall now address the situation on planet Earth prompted my mission. The first reason for my mission is world overpopulation when it comes to the human ability to feed itself. This is and shall be the ultimate peril of humanity. The second reason for my mission is global unfairness, global injustice, egoism, global deceit, and global ungodliness. The third reason prompted my mission has to do with weapons of mass destruction, weapons of catastrophic obliteration of the humankind. The fourth reason for my mission has to do with knowledge, the spreading of knowledge throughout mankind, new knowledge. The fifth reason for my mission has to do with freedom, freedom of the human, as it seems that it is progressively becoming a world that is controlled by corporation, with members of the other group, of the pale group, being the first to follow suit. The sixth and final reason for my mission is a new system of life, a completely new system of life. The second revelation I am to tell the humans here, and particularly those that are of my complexion, is that they are the God they seek. Thus, they must not wait for some kind of God to come and salvage their situation. I am also to tell them that this domain of this universe is one which abides by certain universal laws, two of which being the universal law of self-protection, and the second, the universal law of dominion. The latter is ungodly, not upright, and it is the root of all evil. This being true of the universe, the experience on earth therefore becomes a conflict. Many have come before me with this message. The messenger, Marcus Garvey, has loudly uttered this reality. With experience on earth being an experimental conflict based on these two universal laws, the human on earth self-protects and dominates. The human on earth assembles itself into groups of its own kind to better self-preserve and dominate. The human on earth will continue to do that, as others allows it to do so. Thus being a reality, the experience on earth is likened to a chessboard allowing for multiple opponents, where each must strategically plan their own survival. This being a reality, groups of alike humans are responsible for making their own experience better. They must enhance their own lives. They must rise to greatness on their own. They must prevent other groups from dominating them, independent of a single God. For we are the God we seek. It is in the continuance of the work of many messengers before me, throughout time, that I have come. Until the time comes, I have come in the continuance of the work of messengers and liberators such as Moses, Jesus, Mohammed, Mandela, Drew Ali, Dessalines, Garvey, Malcolm X, Luther King, and many others whose reputations have been deliberately soiled. Many, if not all of these messengers, have been conspiringly murdered at a young age before achieving their tasks. I have come to renew their spirit and to ensure that their missions here on earth weren't in vain. Because looking at those on whose behalf they have come, assuredly I tell you, sadly, their work is not yet fulfilled, and they are disappointed. Those on whose behalf they have come have disappointed all of those messages. You have disappointed all of those messages. Look at you. Look at your condition. Look at your state of being. Look at your mentality. You simply glance at their messages and spat at their faces. Now they look up at you from the other realm with sadness and disgrace. I, God Adu, shall not tolerate this. I am an Khan, a general. I have come to usher a new era in time. The third revelation I am to tell the humans here is that the human reside throughout the cosmos, and that the human, just as it is demonstrated amongst beasts, are not all equal. All human groups of Earth are not from the same origin. Thus the conflict here on Earth. In other words, inhabitants of Earth are not from the same domain within the universe, and do not arrive on this domain, Earth, at the same time. They do not have the same universal mission. They do not conceive life the same, the universe the same, nature the same. They do not process information in the same manner. They do not display the same levels of emotions, an element which is at the core of all the human do. They do not behave the same left alone, thus not equal. I am to reveal to those seen as less throughout their existence that it is because of this confusion that all men are created equal, and the confusion that a type of human, the pale being, spotted from another type of being, the dark being, that the latter has remained largely inactive, not understanding their origin, their position, and the scenario at play here in this domain. Life on Earth is a conflict. Life on Earth is a conflict. Life on Earth is a conflict. To emphasize the words of one of the messengers. Anyone who tells you that it is not seeks to bamboozle you. Anyone not of your kind who tells you that you are equal to him, equal to his ways, when you clearly are not, seeks to hoodwink you into remaining dormant. Anyone who tells you that life is not a conflict understands this fact better than you do and has taken advantage of you while not realizing it. I am to reveal to you that we are the God we seek. Gods do not live under dominion, nor do they live in the manners others have set for them. Gods do not wait for others to save them. Gods perfectionate life. Look at you. Are you making life perfect? I am to reveal to you that this protectorate called Earth belongs to you. You are natural to it at its inception. Look at the origin of those who don't operate like you. You cannot find any aboriginal traces of them here, nor any ancient artifacts of theirs on this planet. Yet you find your artifacts and you in your natural ways till this day all over this planet. Were those whose system you follow original of your planet, you would have seen their indigenous presence here till this day. Look at the pattern of those who've established their ways over the territories of this planet. They have gone from land to land, people to people, taken over, and showing their self-preservation and protection. They have put in effect the universal law of dominion, which is the root of all evil. They are now all over your planet, yet they are not original to your planet. They appeared in one tiny area, then spread out. It is done. It is done. You have lived too long in mediocrity. It is done. You remain dormant for too long. It is done. You have been hoodwinked for too long. I am not having it. I am not witnessing this happening in my journey here on this domain. It is done. It is done. It is done. Say it with me. It is done. It is done. It is done. This is your planet. You have been mediocre. You have been foolish. You have been ungodly and naive. It is done. Finished. What creature has anything on your makeup? Which Which creature, I ask you? You are leaders by nature. You lead. You lead with strength and integrity. Look at you. Who dares lead over you? Look at you. Who dares lead over you? You are leaders by nature. Others connive and control the masses, but you lead. You lead. You lead. The world has feared your leadership, feared what you stand for, what your mind can do. How dare you be led by those that are weaker than you mentally? How dare you? You lead. And from this point forward, I demand that each one of you recognize that you are a leader. You shall demand your place as a leader among the people of this world, amongst the groups of this world, amongst the memberships of this world, among any organization of which you are part. You lead for many reasons, mostly because of the content of your makeup, the content of your psyche. You lead. Most, if not all of world-renowned and respected figures came from your kind, whether it be art, sports, politics. You are greatness. How dare you be mediocre within any society? How dare you? I will tell you what the problem is. You have got to understand life is a conflict. And your planet is now the host of many kinds that do not have the natural essence that you possess. It is the host of those that are not like you. Yet because of your naivety, you have believed that they are. And while you've been dormant, your planet has now been taken hostage. It is done. You've got to wake up and understand that this is now a battle that other groups are more aware of than you. A battle that is coded in the universal laws of existence. A battle that the other groups have strategized much better than you have. If you have strategized at all. Have you? It is done. I am your commander and your servant from another degree. I am here to lead you out of your unfortunate position. As I lead, as the voice of Earth, the voice of my people, I ask no less than the best from you. No less. To begin, here are a few things I want you to believe. And believe with conviction is exactly what I mean. I want you to believe with conviction that the renewal of consciousness has been established on Earth and a new era is unfolding. I want you to believe with conviction that you are not equal to others in many ways. I want you to believe with conviction that this planet belongs to you. I want you to believe with conviction that you are the God you seek. And gods do not live in mediocrity. God's perfection life. I want you to believe with conviction that being God, you do not live under the dominion or in the fashion of other groups. I want you to believe with conviction that you are leaders amongst the peoples of this world, and that you must demand that position in every setting whatsoever. I want you to believe with conviction that there is indeed a conflict at play, a conflict in which you must not fail. I want you to believe with conviction that this mediocre life you and those that resemble you have been living is over. Here are a few fundamental things I want you to understand. You have got to understand that the well-being and wealth of a people is directly dependent on the land of that people. Wealth in general comes from the soil of the earth. I want you to understand that nations are wealthy because of two things. Number one, land. Number two, knowledge. Do you have those in your world? Well, if not, your mission is to acquire those. I want you to understand that the current social well-being and wealth of the world is totally reliant on two natural resources. The first, that which the human here call radio. Second, that which the human here call electricity. Have you excelled in the knowledge or mastery of those? Have you? Well, your mission is to excel in those and discover even more. If radio and electricity is suddenly rendered inaccessible to those whose dominion you are in, suddenly the playing field will be almost even. They need not be rendered inaccessible, however. You have got to excel in that department. Couple that with the acquisition of land for natural resources, plus knowledge, suddenly the notion of dominion is a bygone. The structure of the current wealth of the world is not that complex. It relies on the few factors I just mentioned here. Money is not wealth. It is just funny paper. It can be supplanted by a points system. How dare you live in mediocrity for so long? What have your politicians been doing? What have your so-called stars and celebrities been doing? Land, knowledge, technology, union is all they should have been preaching you about. All they should have been advocating on your behalf. And those are what I want you to be concerned about moving forward. Additionally, I'll be revealing to you the matters of life of your kind from the other realm that ought to be demonstrated here on earth. It is not too late. You can start enhancing yourself and your people today. Land, knowledge, technology, union. I want you to make drastic decisions, however, in your life, the lives of your immediate family and your extended family, and the lives of the people in your community. For instance, obviously, the education of our youngs from the people that are not like you, who don't intend to promote your kind, is something that you know does not enhance your situation. Why then do you keep on doing it? Do you do it to ensure the low social level that you now occupy? It is done. I'm not having it. For generations, your children have gone to school, learning life and knowledge from a branch that don't favor you or your children. Why must this be? Why haven't the money-rich individuals of your kind created their own education system? Why haven't they? I demand that guys like Denzel Washington, Will Smith, Michael Jordan, Barack Obama, and all of those folks that have the capability of giving birth to something like that, to join hands in achieving it. It is done. It is not a joke. Life is real here. It is a conflict. We must alleviate our own cause. Why must you have to prove yourself in every professional setting that you are in to those that are mentally weaker than you? How dare you? How dare you? How long do you intend on doing that? How long do you wish your descendants to go through the same embarrassing, belittling, denigrating situations that you've gone through? How long do you intend for that to happen? It is done. You are art. You are sports. You are thinking. You are life. You are conscious. You are greatness. You just don't have material wealth. Thus, you cannot be well in a material world because you completely ignore what material wealth is. You've allowed yourself to believe it's money when it is not. Material wealth is land, knowledge, and technology. land most particularly. Until you've acquired enough of those, and until you can adequately be competitive in those arenas, you shall continue to fail in this material world. I want you to understand this very well and not be confused. Material wealth is land, knowledge, and technology. It is not hip-hop. It is not art. It is not mental or physical strength. It is land, knowledge, and technology. I, God, Adu, shall not fail my mission. How dare you fail me, Michael Jordan? How dare you fail me, Oprah? How dare you fail me, the people of Hollywood? How dare you fail me, Congressman? How dare you fail me, Mr. Barack Obama? It is done. Enough. I am citing those names not because those particular individuals owe anyone anything in this world, but because we are collectively one kind, and in the matters of those of our kind in the outer domains, we live for the well-being of each other. Such is our mission, our universal mission. It makes us greater at each step in our journey. The well-being of each other. It is a universal code within the universe. Therefore, we must act. We must change. We must prevail. Gods do not live in mediocrity. Yes, you must take drastic decisions. For instance, those whose system you live in tell you that you cannot print your own money. You cannot print your own money and dump it in your economy. Because, according to them, it'll produce what they refer to as inflation. And you naively believe that that is so. Yet money is not wealth. The stockpile of money that the other group has is valueless without land, without soil, without the natural resources that the earth supplies, which are converted into wealth. So then, why haven't you printed money responsibly matching the wealth of your lands and responsibly dumping it in your economy? You can refer to Statement 13 on this particular subject on a more elaborated scale. Nonetheless, our money system is not going to be what we rise with from this situation. I want you to make drastic decisions. I want you to be the most confident person on earth. I want you to be determined. I want you to be focused. I want you to be knowledgeable. Look at you. You are life. Who dares subdue you? Who dares hold you back? Who dares restrain your abilities? Watch the behavior of others towards you. Take a good notice. Are you in fear or are you feared? You answer to that. No more. No more. No more. No more naivety. No more mediocrity. No more weakness. You must rise to your rightful position as God's on earth. That means there are manners you have got to behave. There are manners you have got to talk, walk, eat, think, interact, etc. You are God. You have got to lead. You have got to raise yourself from this awful, mediocre, pitiful situation. I don't want you dwelling on the history of the world, which you relentlessly try to decipher. You have a much greater purpose from here on out. If others won't put your history in its rightful place, let them do as they wish with it. In this domain, the human, though they are powerful, are not the record keeper of history. Such is the task and responsibility of the universe itself. Your history is already recorded in the blanket of the universe. It is now time to continue to add onto your history. Be wise, be collected, composed, Be fearless. If someone tells you Egyptians weren't of your kind, simply laugh and move forward. Likewise, if someone should tell you that Jesus is not of your kind, for you know what the universe has already recorded, and that cannot be tarnished. I want you to focus on new greatness, and the time is now, right this minute. And I want you to say the following when you're ready to raise yourself to God's status, when you are finally completely ready to raise yourself to God's status here on earth, and when you're ready to engage the world in your endeavors. I want you to repeat the following. Spirit of truth, spirit of joy, spirit of love, spirit of compassion, great spirit of the universe, which is my soul, my body, my intelligence, and everything that I stand for. I love you with all of my heart and might. I am you, you are I. I shall not stumble, I shall not crumble, I shall not fail. Nothing shall deter me from my desire and aspiration to liken you in greatness. For I am God. This is true. This is true. This is true. What I just said is not a religious statement. You may disregard it at will. However, it is the invoking of self as related to the universe. It does have a purpose. You must be composed moving forward and understanding of the scenario being played here on this domain, on earth. Understand it on a philosophical perspective. Be Socratic, just in the way I just chose to use this very term. Be clever, wise, fair, upright, understanding yet assertive. Understand reality for what it is. Treat your opponents with respect, meaning treat the ones you claim to be ruling you with respect and understanding. Do not preach the white man is the devil. There is no such a thing as a white man. This being is a pale being. Nor beg the pale being to cease being racist, nor contemplate the failure nor the destruction of that group. Doing so won't accomplish anything. Understand reality for what it is. Your current reality is that you are at a major disadvantage. The disparity in wealth, thus well-being, is almost innumerable. The reality is you are in a world where you don't call the shots, and you must abide to systems of life that are not compatible to your kind. A world where you are constantly at a disadvantage in every aspect. Understand this reality. It happened because you have been dormant. You have been naive. You have now just been woken up, and you are about to pick back up right where you left. Show strength and respect for your opponent as you take responsibility for yourselves. Your opponent is a non-factor if the decisions rest in your hand. And trust me, they do. In the end, you are not looking to pattern yourself after your opponent, but to create your own system. Space is quite fluid, and time is static. Thus, nothing is too late. Therefore, I want you to cease talking about your opponent in everything that you do. As I repeat, your opponent is a non-factor if the decisions are for you to make. You must be willing to go to the basic and start over, to recalibrate yourself and create your own system. Now, here are a couple of tasks that I'm going to leave you with. I want you to get in touch with two people from your kind that somehow, sometime, you have developed an enmity towards in whichever medium or aspect of life. And I want you to elevate yourself to God's status and say, our enmity is done. Why don't you join me in a greater cause? In conclusion, as for those who wonder what our position should be on a religious standpoint, I want you to listen to statement number 2, entitled The Union.